Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
She packed my bags last night pre-flight. 0 hours, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then.
All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space. Such a timeless flight. I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning out his fuse of heaven home. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as ice. And there's no one there to raise them. If you did. And all the science I don't understand. It's just my job 5 days a week. Rocket man. Rocket man. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning out his fuse of heaven
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, podcast fans of all ages. I'm Dave Valente. Thank you for joining us on the Political Deep Dive. Joining us tonight, as always, AJ. What's going on, AJ?
I'm here. It's great. It's wonderful. It's another confusing day in America.
It is. It's always a confusing day in America. In fact, Donald Trump kicked it off by saying, praise be to Allah.
Oh my God.
Okay, so technically, hey Brandy, technically it's not an incorrect statement if you are a member of one of the Abrahamic faiths, because Allah simply is the Arabic word for God. So he's essentially saying praise be to God. But his Trumpers don't know that.
Yep.
They don't know that. I mean, it's like the word Dio in Spanish or Dieu in French. It's just a word for God in general. Dieu.
Mon Dieu. See, because I thought you were talking about thought you were talking about Dio, which is completely different.
Ronnie James Dio. Hell yeah.
Dio has rocked for a long
Oh
time. Sorry.
yeah, Tenacious D's Dio. Yeah.
Exactly right. Sing me a song, you're a singer. Sorry.
But yeah, so he starts out today talking about you know, Tuesday is going to be the day that they bomb all the bridges and the power plants, and you know, it's great because when the time comes and if he's still on the plus side of the turf on this mortal coil, and he's no longer in power. The case at the Hague is going to be really, really fucking easy because all you have to do is go refer to his Truth Social posts on what he's doing, because he's admitting to crimes. Don't admit to crimes online. Don't post your crimes online, brother.
Well,
Like,
with
Right.
any luck, oh, I'm just I'm so tired. But we also have Dan, the man Fishman.
we do have Dan the Man Fish, but I was about to introduce him, but AJ
that's
beat
all
me
right.
to it.
I,
It's all
well,
good.
contractually, I prefer AJ to introduce me. So,
Okay. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I think we might want to talk briefly about the 25th Amendment
Briefs.
because
Who's going to invoke the 25th Amendment out of that cabinet?
Chris Murphy tweeted about it.
they are all such power hungry bastards, and they're thinking to themselves, we could all be next.
So essentially, we turn it from one man leading the government to Game of Thrones.
Well, I was thinking more like Survivor,
Survivor.
where they make alliances and they're going to vote Trump off the island.
Ooh.
I
Do you consider, right? Let's go back and look how many Trump haters there actually are in the cabinet.
Oh yeah.
Real Trump haters, right? J.D. Vance was a real Trump hater,
Yeah.
right? He said Trump was like Hitler.
That's also a terrifying thought.
Marco Rubio, right, was a Trump hater up until he got this job.
Little Marco.
Little Marco, right?
Mhm.
Linda McMahon once
Still talking
body
about it.
slammed. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
But
here's
the
who
thing.
do they rally around? Like, I mean, I know if you invoke the 25th, you got to go to JD.
Yeah, it's got to be Vance.
But I don't think he's got the cash.
I don't know
to-
if it's going to happen.
I don't. I would say if I were going to go to Poly Market, it'd be interesting to see what the odds are. I can look that up.
Well, while you're looking that up,
Yeah.
can we also bring up the fact that apparently Catholics are having a time.
Bad time.
There have been nuns and Catholic parishioners in Israel that have been assaulted and pepper sprayed. They took the Easter Mass that was a traditional Mass for the soldiers, took that out. They're only doing Protestant services for Easter. And JD Vance is Catholic. So I'm really confused. I don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to be a Caesar situation? Because
Yeah, I mean, I think this cabinet was picked specifically
Yep.
to avoid the 25th Amendment. To that no. First off, they're all just incredibly fucking stupid. They're all just like, if you went around looking for the dumbest possible person to put into these positions, Pete Keg's breath, Mark Wayne Mullen, like, holy shit, like these and Mark Wayne's the replacement for a incredibly bad human being.
Yeah.
I-
So
who do
let me quickly. I'm just looking it up, and I'm going off of Reuters here. So Israel banned the Catholic cardinal,
until the Pope.
from marking Palm Sunday at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which people know is where the Temple
Yeah.
on the Mount is, etc.
Yeah.
The argument is it would be a prime missile target. Whether we believe that or not, they didn't ban Catholic services. Catholic services were held in Catholic churches all throughout Israel, but they didn't let the cardinal hold his service as they have for, the last 60, 70 years
Yeah.
at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. But it wasn't like they
The
invited a
U.S.
Protestant.
military, the services were canceled, is what I was saying.
Oh, the U.S. military. Okay.
Oh, by the military?
Yes, look that up.
So
Interesting.
Catholic
Only
masses were,
Protestant services for
Wow.
Easter.
because these guys are such such practitioners of the Christian faith.
Technically, Tom, I have peanut butter dark chocolate chip cookies in my kitchen.
Oh, cookies. Tom wants cake.
Well, I don't have
Beef
cake.
cake. Oh, sorry.
No Catholic Mass invitation to Good Friday service held in the Pentagon's on-site chapel.
Huh.
Now this is this is on AmericanAirlines.com, so I'm not sure it's the most reputable source. I don't know why it's there.
It can't be any worse than what we've
Yeah,
got going right now.
yeah.
So.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's MSN, which I think is a little more.
2 kinds of
realistic.
pie. Oh, I like pie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, yellow cake uranium jokes is very funny. Thank you, Thomas.
Oh, I will tell you one of the funniest things I ever watched was the Chappelle, basically doing the review of the Bush years, and it was like Black Bush. That was his thing, and it was like all his cabinet members were black, and like these rappers, like we found yellow cake, and he like pulls out, and it's like this pound cake, and then the dude next to him is like, "Don't drop that shit. Pray to God you don't drop that shit."
Ooh, banana
Ooh,
cream.
Damn, Brandy.
Let's just
I'll
talk
be
about
down at
the pie.
Bucky's. I'll be down at Bucky's in a few hours. So
Will you really?
yeah, I'm heading down to Georgia after sometime after the show.
You have a soul to steal? Sorry.
Were you in a bind and way behind and willing to
Just
make a
doing
deal?
song
I am
references
always willing to
tonight.
make a deal. I am always willing to make a deal. And I've got my little devil's mask, so I can always pull it off. I actually got this really cool like blood red shirt, dress shirt, and cool little paisley red and black tie for my black suit. Maybe I could rock that down to Georgia.
What's happening in
It's
Georgia,
hot
man?
as shit,
Going to
dude.
visit family?
We're trying to pick up some stuff that Aaliyah wants to sell online.
Nice.
Because we got property down there, her parents' home. It's being rented out now, but yeah, we're heading down there. It's my first time in Georgia in a few years now. So, but yeah, I'm excited about Buc-ee's, and I'm excited about going to North Carolina because that means I get to pick up Diet Sundrop soda. If you think I love Diet Mountain Dew, Diet Sundrop, I will pick Diet Sundrop over Mountain Dew all the time.
Dude, I grew up. Everything was Dr. Pepper and Sundrop in my town because we had the Dr. Pepper bottling company right there, and everything was Dr. Pepper and Sundrop my entire life.
Love Sundrop. So, but yeah, I'll be at a Buc-ee's sometime in the morning.
Will you be going to a place where they sell squirt?
I'm not going to kink shame Dan. I will neither confirm nor deny those rumors.
All right. Fair enough. Squirt, one of my favorite weird soft drinks.
Yeah,
Also,
it's good. I like Squirt.
it's good. I have to say, I really liked Fresca back in the day.
Oh, I have seen Fresca on the shelves.
Yeah, Fresca's around here. Yeah.
Fresca, I like it for a couple of reasons, not the least of which is if you take certain medication, they tell you not to drink Fresca because Fresca is essentially carbonated grapefruit juice. Exactly right. And some people can't eat grapefruit. I don't know why. AJ knows why.
It fucks with how your blood clots.
All right.
Ah, okay. Well, I like Fresca.
That's the
every once in a while.
technical explanation.
Right, exactly. It fucks with your blood.
How
Fucks
about
with your blood,
cheer
don't do
wine?
that.
Cheer
Don't do
wine is good. because I'm a diabetic, I
Oh.
drink the diet. And Diet Cheer One is just not that good. It's like
Oh,
this real
cheer one, dude. That's
chemically
like
flavor. That
1987 right there.
yeah,
God
but I
dang.
mean
It's no Bartles and James, but
it's no Boone's Farm.
exactly.
Oh God.
Oh my God! All right,
Our
so
government's
you know, I don't think that the 25th Amendment is going to be invoked anytime soon, unless there is like a severe actual like Trump grabs his head and is in a coma and he strokes out, but not dies. I think that's the only
they're
way that it
gonna
gets him. I think that's the only way
they're
it gets
gonna
him vote.
weekend at Bernie's him. I'm so sorry.
Weekend at Donnie's. Yeah.
I just imagine the orange bleh. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, I mean, and a lot of that stuff has been talked about this weekend because there was a rumor that last minute he canceled a trip to Mar-a-Lago. He canceled appearances at the White House on Saturday, and people started, the rumors start going at this point. And he's at Walter Reed. He's got new bruises on his hands. He looked like shit he looked like shit all the damn time now.
Yeah. Incidentally, 10% chance on Polymarket that the 25th Amendment will be invoked before 2027.
Interesting, and that's an interesting
Wow.
point because
Before 2027?
Yep.
if you do it
We still
now,
got a lot of year left, y'all.
yeah, well, if you do it now, whoever takes over as president could only run for re-election once, because you can only serve a maximum
Yeah.
of 10 years
Yeah.
on the amendment. So he would get 3 years of 2+ years of Donald Trump's term,
Unless
and then
he resigned after 18 months.
yeah,
I mean, we talked about this back in 2020
yeah,
when I said I was sure that Biden was only going to serve one term because how could he be such a dick to try to run again in 2024 and screw the Democratic Party? To which he said, "Hold my beer."
exactly.
You manifested that.
Yes, let me sniff some air.
Yeah, so yeah, if he holds on, maybe they do weekend at Bernie's him if
Nice.
things happen this early.
Maybe they Biden him.
Maybe they Biden him. I mean,
Actually,
let's say I'm gonna say, as bad as Biden was, especially when we got to that debate, and as much of his decline was, I don't think Donald Trump is. I think he's getting worse in the respect that he is. It's almost like this dementia anger
Yeah.
that I see a lot of people do.
It's harder to tell because of the type of dementia that he has.
Yeah.
He has angry, yell at people dementia, and he's always been a dick. So it's hard to tell if he's more being a dick or if it's truly just dementia, as opposed to Biden, who, Biden was obviously, not a nice guy, right? Author of the Predators crime bill, all this other stuff, famously said about Barack Obama, he's so clean and well spoken.
I mean, the when he first started running for president in 2008, he walked up to a couple of gentlemen at a fundraiser. I believe they were Pakistani. He was like, "Oh, you're from Pakistan. I can't go to a 7-Eleven without speaking Urdu." Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I mean,
let's not use stereotypes here, man.
well, it's funny because we were talking about this too. And I don't think, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong, that it is unfair to describe a certain type of behavior as old white man racism. I think that it is a real thing. And it's not just racism, it's also sexism.
can
Yes.
confirm. I grew up in Tennessee as an owner of a uterus. Can confirm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can confirm. And I mean that was my family. Like I don't want to talk bad about people, but
yeah.
that was a normal thing. It wasn't a constant thing, But every now and then there would be like a little comment here or there.
Yep.
And it was just like, what?
Well, it's funny because we were talking about this in the context of Gino
Oriema.
yeah,
Oriema. Yeah.
yeah, who after his team lost to the South Carolina Gamecocks, Gino, the winningest coach in basketball history, has coached the Lady Huskies at the University of Connecticut for
Highest paid employee in the state of Connecticut as well.
yeah. Oh, and incidentally, they prefer to be referred to as the Lady Huskies and not the Husky Ladies. So
I was about to be like, Lady Huskies, like y'all.
yeah, they. But at the end of the South Carolina game, he had some sort of dispute with the coach for South Carolina, whose name eludes me right now. But whatever it was clearly old white man bullshit. His team lost, and he had sour grapes.
Yeah.
And my comment about it was he did eventually apologize the next day.
Yeah.
And it was as good an apology as AI could write. You know, what I did was wrong. I have embarrassed myself and the state of Connecticut. The focus should have been on the amazing South Carolina team and what they accomplished and not on us. This is my heartfelt apology to the coach, who he named by name, et cetera, et cetera. So that's great. I'm glad that apology came out. Whoever talked him into doing that should also talk him into retiring.
Sure.
Because although he is a great coach, that program will go to the Final Four no matter who their coach is. I'm mentioned, and so Connecticut could do better. It'll be interesting to see if Connecticut, which is a pretty liberal state, will come after him for what was pretty sexist behavior.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll see. I mean, he also is the winningest coach. I mean,
the winningest
we've
coach in the
seen,
history of
we've
the
seen,
sport.
Yeah, we've seen them sweep shit under the rug before. So,
Oh, yeah.
because it's like Pat. I'm not comparing the two based on how they left their jobs, but Pat Summitt at Tennessee,
Exactly.
winningest basketball coach, and
That's
she
fine.
will, it's hard to get rid of her, and she had
lost
to actually step back herself and say, you know what, I'm declining mentally. I can't do this.
I'm assuming that there was a lot of coaching of other people in helping her to get there too.
Sure. She,
but
she
maybe
probably
she
talked
did.
to a lot of people. Yeah.
So I mean,
I have
it's
friends that have taken a picture. I was like, that name sounds familiar. They've taken a picture with the statue.
Yeah.
Pat Summitt. Yeah, I mean, she's an amazing coach.
Oh yeah, she was
And,
amazing coach, person. Yeah.
I was lucky
Shout
enough
out to the Gunkles.
go to Texas from '86 through '89, and the women's basketball team then was unbelievable. Cheryl Davis, Fran Harris, always in the Final Four. We would see Tennessee all the time.
Yeah.
Just a great program.
They do.
And, the other thing I want to say is that in terms of mental decline, a lot of people do take steps to sort of say, I recognize what it'll look like. And when I can't do this, that's when I
Put
want
the
to
brakes on.
have somebody's take away. And if you're lucky, you've got a friend that you can make a pact about that with. And I think we've talked about this before.
Like a porn buddy?
Well, yeah, something like that. I had a pact with my best friend, Chad Harrison, unfortunately no longer with us. But Chad and I agreed that should either of us exemplify non compos mentis, not being of sound mind, that we would do each other the ultimate courtesy and come and make sure that the job was done well. And then one day, I'm on Facebook. This is probably about 12 years ago.
Are you talking like of mice and men take care of things?
Yeah, because if you don't know and you're not able to do it, you want your best friend to come do it for you, so that you're not a burden anymore. Maybe not everybody wants that, but anyway.
I mean, Okay, so what brought
Tell
me to
about the rabbits?
libertarianism at all was the right to die.
Yeah, death
So
with
no,
dignity.
I'm just clarifying. Thank you.
Right, right. In an ideal world, you would have made plans for it yourself.
Sure.
But
Exactly.
there may be a scenario where you don't have the opportunity, or you've degraded too quickly, and your plans don't get put into place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You could easily imagine, being
Stroke.
brain dead in a
Yeah.
state that doesn't have euthanasia, and now you're stuck. Yeah, exactly. I could probably count on Tom. Unfortunately, Tom, you're going to die long before me. But, um,
Wow.
but
Damn. All right. Whoa.
well, I mean,
Whoa.
it's a close race. My weight
Happy
against
Easter,
against
everybody. You're gonna die.
it's a close race. My weight against his smoking, and he's a lot older than me already.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing: is that in 2010, I
I think you're
posted
gonna
on
go fuck
Facebook.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. In 2010, I posted on Facebook, guys, I forgot how amazing ABBA's back catalog is, because it had come through my playlist, and I really meant it. And Chad posted, "You realize this triggers the non compos mentis clause, and I have to come kill you."
Oh,
So,
that was a
Yeah.
good homie.
So
Yeah.
if you,
That's a good story. Now, I advise everybody to fill out an advance directive. So at least your family won't be stuck with medical bills because you're
Yeah.
stuck on a machine and they have no idea what to do with you.
yeah,
Everybody
Yep.
fill out an advance directive. It has helped
hey, chat.
personally in my family multiple times because you are already going through something or your family members are already going through something. If that decision has been made ahead of time,
yep,
you can make that decision. You can look at that paper and be like, they wanted this.
yep.
And
Yeah,
it,
it's
it
funny.
does help things.
My dad's house, he has 4 copies of his DNR, very visibly posted all over the place.
Mhm.
And then I am actually the primary contact because he's afraid my sister won't.
Make
You
the
know,
be able to make the
Make that
decision.
call.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though that's not fair to her, but
No.
I still appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fathers and daughters, it's a crazy
I get it.
relationship.
I get it.
Yeah.
So the main topic we wanted to talk about tonight was
Oops.
on the first. We saw was it the first? Or is it Thursday? We saw Artemis II launch off of the pad in Cape Canaveral, Florida, rocketing to the moon or returning to the moon first time in 3 years now?
Yep.
Last time we were on the moon, I was a fetus in the womb. I've never been on this Earth when we've actually had people on the moon. So that's how long we've gone without people on the moon. I'm happy they're not going to be on the moon. This mission is to kind of set up
To
how
prove
we're
that
going to do it.
we can go back to deep space.
Yeah, and we're going to go past the moon. We're going to go further than any human has ever been. And
Quarter of a million miles, 250,000 miles away from the sun.
so far away from Trump. I'm so jealous.
Yep.
Right. Please just leave me here.
Just like push me out the hatch and just pop a hole in me. We're good. But yeah, we've talked about Artemis, the project Artemis. It is transitioning to the SpaceX rockets. We're on the second mission. The third mission is the third mission supposed to do the actual landing, or is it the fourth one?
I think that they're going to drop the stuff on the third mission, and then the fourth is assembly.
Drop the stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Essentially, if you've looked at it,
Staging.
yeah, the base is going to be essentially 2 rocket shells connected together, and so that's what you want. You want modularity.
Yeah.
The ability to add more things in, et cetera, et cetera. So the idea, I think, is that they're going to put the first ones down on the next trip, because if you were bringing those and the people, it's a lot of stuff. This was my advice when they called me. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but we'll see. That's the way I would do it.
Yeah, let's see. Artemis 3. Launch crew on Orion spacecraft top SLS, rendezvous docking capabilities,
Right.
Orion and commercial spacecraft needed to land astronauts on the moon. So it'd be rendezvous and docking in low Earth orbit. So it doesn't even look like they're really going to go to the moon on the third one. But anyway, so eventually the goal is to land back on the moon, construct a small scale base.
Well, actually, that makes so much more sense now that I think about it. So it's worth mentioning they're traveling at 15,000 miles an hour right now, which is awesome.
Yep.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson has a nice little piece where he talks about, Elon Musk says he wants to go to the moon, but it's going to take 18 months to get there. It's actually not true. If you were willing to accelerate all the way there, you could be there in about 7 to 8 months. But you would then just whip past Mars at a gazillion miles an hour.
Yeah.
So the point is that you accelerate and then you turn around.
Mm-hmm.
You go the other way.
Right. Yeah.
If you put all of those pieces that you need in orbit, then it doesn't really cost you much energy to get them to the moon. I hadn't thought about that. Those NASA guys might be smarter than me.
So I just looked it up. It's Artemis 4 is going to be the one that actually lands on the moon. 3 is just testing systems.
Right.
Yeah. So and 3 is scheduled to go sometime in 2027, maybe 2028. Then they're saying early 2028 for mission 4. So we could be on the moon in a couple of years if we're not having a civil war over the 2028 election.
Right.
Or
if the MAGA vision of the apocalypse, saying that we're in Revelations, et cetera, hasn't come true. That's another
when
thing.
Did they get raptured?
Holy shit, that shit is so alarming. So alarming. And, it's funny because, I think about the horror movies based upon Revelations, right? Like the Omen trilogy and a few other ones. And how everybody's like, wow, that's some crazy shit. And yet here we are, people who really believe that stuff. It's
Can you
insane.
take my dog? I'm going to be raptured, and I want
I'm
the dog
telling
to
you,
be taken care of.
Next time we come with these end of the rapture's coming when they predict another predicted rapture, we need to buy up all the blow up sex dolls and fill them full of helium and just let them go and watch the people free. Like that would be the awesome thing to do.
Well, I'm saving some helium because I'll just say, look up helium and exit bag. Alice Cramden is an interesting choice to say first to the moon. But for me, it's Dee Dee Harriman, who Robert Heinlein wrote about going to the moon in 1939. And of course, Jules Verne famously wrote about the voyage to the moon long before that. I'm always fascinated, though, by Heinlein stuff because he's writing science fiction about going to the moon, and then he really lived to see it.
Yeah.
30 years after he wrote. And that must just be amazing.
Yeah, science fiction becoming science fact.
Yep.
Major science fiction boner.
Yep.
Well, most of the people on the Earth know that we've been to the moon. There's a small fraction of us are out there that are like, we didn't go to the moon.
Yeah.
And the Earth is flat.
Right. And it's funny how those people are particularly quiet right now.
They're like, this is AI. It's AI generated.
But you can actually, for a long time, you could see Artemis with a telescope.
Yeah. Oh, well,
not Artemis. Artemis.
Well, you can see the International Space Station. You can see all kinds of shit.
Right.
And they're communicating all their stuff and the use of satellites and all that stuff. It's like, flat eartherism is a thing that is shared amongst many people all around the world.
Right. And there is this that's funny. There is flat earther and people who think we didn't go to the moon.
Yeah, and you know it was done on a soundstage
But are there
in
flat earthers that
California.
think that we went
Oh
to the
no,
moon?
oh no, I think the Venn diagram is just a concentric circle.
Just a
Right
circle.
there. That's just a circle. But yeah, they say that Stanley Kubrick did the moon landing, and that it was on a soundstage in L.A. that they did this moon landing, and you know anybody who knows Kubrick knows that he would have demanded that it be filmed on location. So yeah, I'm excited about returning back to the moon, and I know a lot of folks within the libertarian circles have always talked about we don't want to this is government funding and all this stuff, and I don't know, man. Like there are so many things that the government funds that I would want to eliminate before NASA. Do I think a private
Department
company?
of War, for example.
Right.
Yeah, good lord. The amount of money that we spend on NASA to actually do shit like this is a fraction of what we spend on other things that are an absolute waste of time and money. And
Yep.
I'd rather us spend it on the pursuit of knowledge than um, the pursuit of Epstein Island. I'd rather honor the scientists than the pedophile politicians. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that what we've turned this country into. How anti-science this country has become.
Yeah.
It's not just going
But
back to the moon or space exploration, but it's also,
it
health.
I mean, all this stuff, right? I mean, obviously, vaccines is a great
Yeah.
example, but one of the things that's just insane to me too. I encounter this all the time. The people who want to argue that AI doesn't work now, they are just insane. Look, you can complain about what do you think it's going to do,
Yeah.
but there are so many people out there using AI on a daily basis. And, this came up. I posted a picture on Facebook for people who didn't see it. I had to go get cap cement at CVS. My partner had a cap fall off one of her back teeth. And so I went there and we looked up beforehand. We wanted this brand called Dentemp. And I went there and I didn't see the Dentemp stuff. Although I saw other Dentemp items. So in the end, I just took a picture of the entire shelf and I said to ChatGPT, is the Dentemp cap cement here? And said, no. The CVS generic brand is here. There's a bunch of other Dentemp items on the shelves, but what you're looking for is not in your picture. My recommendation is to take the generic CVS one. I've compared the ingredients. They're exactly the same. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think AJ and I are of the same mind that the replacement of art through AI is of concern. I mean, shit, right now, like 3 or 4 songs on the Billboard Top 100, or on the top 10, are AI generated.
Yeah.
Not real artists, not real. The song was AI generated. The music is AI generated. The band is AI generated. They'll never perform live.
The Cleveland Plain Dealer, right, has
Yeah.
AI writing articles, and their readership has gone up.
Yeah.
I mean, we can complain about the death of Truth and Beauty, but in reality, Truth and Beauty died, over a century ago. What's left now is just a husk. And the reality of it is AI is going to be so impactful in people's lives that denying it.
Well, it's not denying it. I think the concern that I have with AI is that we're going to start not thinking. And well, it's not even start. We're not thinking right now.
Yeah.
We're not doing critical thinking because we think that AI is going to critically think something better. And they may, absolutely.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, go ahead, AJ.
What's the point in getting the college degrees then? All you super smart people. No.
Yeah.
Let me finish. Let me finish. What is the point in getting all of these degrees and all of this like critical thinking skills? Because that's really what you get at college. Like, what is the point if you're going to use AI to write all your stuff?
Well, I guess the best example I can give to that is that AI is without a question a thinking tool in the same way that Excel is, right? I mean, lots of people use Excel all the time, and they put all sorts of automations in it, things that prevent them from making mathematical mistakes.
Formulas, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. And this is essentially Excel on steroids. It has the ability to, and this is what's really interesting
I
about it.
fucking hate Excel.
But,
Oh,
but
yeah,
it
I
has
hate
the ability to
Excel
talk
too.
people into killing themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I remember when Dungeons and Dragons was blamed for that as well. I mean,
This
that's a
actually
real thing.
happened, so
Yeah,
I'm not really sure we're comparing the same thing here.
I mean, did AI actually talk somebody into killing themselves who wasn't thinking about killing themselves? I don't actually know the whole story, but I think that somebody went there and said, this is my situation, blah 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 blah.
No, it was a student, and he was working on calculations using AI, like you're saying, as
Yeah,
tool, and it told him that he had solved it, that it was done, it was over, it was great, wonderful job, dude. You have absolutely crushed this, and
and then kill yourself.
I can't remember how it was like he found out that no, actually, that's not the truth.
All right, I'm
It
reading
didn't solve it.
right. ChatGPT is on CNN. Parents say ChatGPT encouraged son to kill himself. Blah blah blah.
And, AI being able to blackmail people is a little concerning.
Look, I mean that's true. There's
I
no question
know.
about it that there is a real problem, especially for the people who aren't educated and who aren't critical thinkers, which unfortunately means 90% of the planet.
Yeah.
Okay, those people are going to be, and we can lead into this as a political conversation about what we think that means in terms of democracy. But long before AI was on the scene, Jared Kushner and Cambridge Analytica used Facebook posts and just regular old computers to say, if we make this Facebook post to these people, they're going to respond like this, and we can manipulate them politically. We have a whole industry dedicated to making you buy Coca-Cola and McDonald's and all that other stuff. And honestly, vote for Trump or vote for Biden or whoever it is. The manipulation of humans has always been a problem.
So we just
But it's
allow
gonna
it
be
to
on
keep
steroids.
growing and get better at manipulating us?
I mean,
Because it's always been, pedophilia has always been a problem, so we should just allow it to happen.
well, it's interesting
Do you,
because
do you see?
I do see what you're saying. I don't know that that's a fair comparison. I mean, a thinking machine is fundamentally a machine that thinks, right? I mean, there's nothing else to it. And it's going to have facts available faster than most people will.
Yes.
But
It needs an input.
yeah, it can't make you do anything. I mean, here's the other side of it. And like everything, I wrote an article about this. I think you guys might have read it, talking about how AI and guns are sort of the same problem. Okay, you can make a strong argument for gun control. Nobody needs an AR-15, a fully automatic rifle, even though fully automatic rifles have been illegal since the St. Valentine's Day massacre. But the problem is, a famous statement that we always have is that if you outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns.
Yes.
If you if you curtail AI, only the rich and powerful will have access to AI. And that would be a much greater loss. Because right now, AI is this unbelievable equalizer for people. You can complain about all the problems that AI causes in healthcare, but the benefits are enormous. People want beginning exercise plans, diets, stuff like that. AI is really good at stuff like that.
Even research.
But if their air is polluted with because of the AI, they're not going to be able to follow an exercise plan.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Oh, it's just water and air.
Look,
we got plenty of that. It's
water,
never going to run out.
The water thing will be over in 5 years. Guarantee it.
Only 5 years. We have to suffer through this. Okay.
I mean, you can make the same argument for nuclear power, right? Nuclear power uses the same water, and actually it solves both problems. There's no reason why water can't be used in a self-contained cooling system, right? Water, when used to cool things, becomes...
The rich people aren't going to do that, Dan.
Well,
the rich people are taking shortcuts, and they're deregulating everything.
There is, without question, there is a problem
in West Virginia.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, the biggest issue I've ever had with libertarianism or any of this crap, people are going to choose the right thing. No, they're fucking not.
No, people aren't going to choose the right thing. I look around
and I'm like, wow, people are shit.
The right solution to that isn't banning AI, because no matter what we talk about, AI is never going to be using as much water.
I said ban AI. Never once have I said ban AI.
AI will never be using as much water as agriculture. And it will never be as dirty as the way
agriculture. You know, the stuff that feeds us?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fair comparison.
Yeah.
AI doesn't feed us. I can't eat ideas and oh wow, you can correct my grammar. Yum, yum, yum. What?
AI doesn't take water and remove it from the system. Right?
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh.
Okay, right. I mean, you tell me, how does a nuclear power plant work?
I know once the water has run through, and this has been especially true in Texas and at least Memphis, Tennessee, it's not usable anymore.
What happened to it? Why is it not usable anymore?
I assume that all the turbines and stuff they're using, that's what happened.
Why would that mean you couldn't use it anymore for cooling? You're not drinking it.
Because that would make sense, and rich people aren't doing shit that makes sense, Dan.
So
I'm not arguing with you that there are ways that it could be better. Well, absolutely, there are plenty of ways. Is anybody in this country that only cares about money going to do any of those things? No, they're not. They're going to do what's cheapest and what kills the poor people, because fuck them.
The right solution is something that I've been arguing for over at least 10 years. Realistic water pricing. Water is unbelievably valuable, and yet we charge nothing for it. And it's ridiculous that a data center, would pay as much for water as you and I would, right? We should have a very simple system where we say, okay, water is a utility, right? It comes from usually comes from a publicly owned utility. Some places people have their own ponds or whatever.
Wells,
yeah. But generally, the utility should charge a personal rate and a corporate rate. And the corporate rate can be astronomical.
Well,
because
the problem is the corporate rate, because we've got that here in West Virginia. They're going to have a corporate rate and they're going to have a personal rate. The corporate rate is a discount compared to the personal rate.
Yes, that's what's happening to my people in Texas. They had a water bill that was like $15 for the last 25 years, and suddenly it's over $200.
So, I mean, clearly
Google,
that's
data center down the road.
that is clearly a governmental failure.
Yeah,
Right.
no, it is.
That's not a data
That's-
center problem. It could be any industry. It
No,
could be oil.
I mean,
it could be
I-
nuclear
But
power.
but it is the data center. It moved in, and suddenly their water bill is too much.
I mean, there's definitely some of that. Agriculture has lots of histories like this, where a big farm moves into an area and they drill into the aquifer, and then they pump all the water out of the aquifer and they store it for themselves. So everybody else who had a well doesn't have access to water anymore. Water competition is a very old story in the United States. Colorado, you can't have rain. You know this. You live in Colorado.
I do know this. That's why I'm like, what are you talking about?
But
The
you
rich
can't-
people are not going to choose the good idea. They're not going to choose the thing that
Not when they
actually
can force the
saves
government.
anybody
Well-
or fixes anything.
So you're right. In this case, government
I
has
know.
to do the right thing.
The government's never going to do the right thing.
If the government's not going to do the right thing, why are we even talking about it? If there's no solution, there's no
Well-
solution. We should just get on with it. But the solution that we can implement is pretty simple, which is realistic pricing for water. Because if you do realistic pricing for water, that helps. And all right, full disclosure here. My brother-in-law, his company does HVAC for data centers. They did HVAC for other things long before data centers, but because they were HVAC in factories and stuff like that, 50% of their business in the last 3 years is now data centers. Geothermal is coming online. And for people who don't understand what geothermal is, 8 feet down, the earth is always 55 degrees. No matter what you do, no matter where you go. You can do it in Alaska, you can drill it in where I am in Maryland. So generally what people do is they drill a hole about 500 feet down and they run antifreeze through there. They fill it with water or whatever. Antifreeze is obviously better than water for this sort of thing. And then they have this massive container of stuff that is 55 degrees. When you do it in your house, you get air conditioning and you get heat from it. Because if it's 30 degrees outside, you can run the air across the fan. It's 55, heating it up from 55 to 70 doesn't cost you that much electricity. If it's air conditioning, it's essentially free. Just have to have the pumps to do it. Geothermal is the long-term solution for data centers.
Yes.
Because it's a finite solution. And honestly, I think most data centers are going to move to Canada anyway. It's just cheaper.
Why wouldn't you be like where
Exactly.
it is cold
Yeah.
to begin with? Why don't you move there
Well,
instead of
and
trying
use
to put
yeah,
one
you-
in every 55 counties of West Virginia?
use
Clean
the
waters.
and use the ocean water that's there. There's a lot of stuff there that we should be in the process of saying what's a fair price for what you're doing. And if you're consuming water, fine, consume water,
I mean,
but let's charge you a realistic price for it.
but the
and-
problem is, and we talking about it, but like in West Virginia, what happened was they passed a bill that essentially removes all transparency when it comes to data centers. We, 2 months ago, the governor of West Virginia gets up. This is after the filing deadline for running against people, announces that they're putting a 1.9 million square foot data center in the. It's going to be my neighbor. It's like 5 miles down the road.
Yeah.
There was no discussion. The county commission first off said that they didn't know anything until the announcement was made. We've learned that that's bullshit because they're forced to sign an NDA. But yeah, West Virginia is the poster child for government abusing the shit out of its citizens just for profit.
Yeah.
And AI has extraordinarily deep pockets.
Do you think AI is worse than coal for West Virginia?
Oh no! I mean, I would love to see honestly, I'd love to see nuclear power in West Virginia because
Right.
West Virginia is fairly stable. But I don't know. Like I think the thing I would like to see with West Virginia is that politicians stop raping the fucking state for a fucking buck
Yeah, I mean,
and nothing
in order for that to
improving
happen,
for the people that
you
live
have to
in
solve the
state.
fundamental problem. We need a good government, right? If you have a bad government, everything else is fucked, right? Healthcare's fucked, environment is fucked, data centers are fucked. Everything's fucked when there's a bad government. And so, what is the best solution for something like this?
I don't know if we can say that on there.
I'd like to say hi to the members of the
I've got
National
so
Security
many
Agency who are
ideas.
watching right now.
Oh, speaking of space, send them to space.
Oh,
Send
yeah.
them to
So,
space.
Well,
if you
we
could-
talked about that.
No, I don't. I'm not. If
Yeah.
if you go into this like non-aggression, I'm not
No,
a
I'm not.
libertarian
I'm talking
anymore.
about
I can be
non-aggression.
aggressive.
I'm talking about. We talked about the fact that you could put data centers in space, solar powered.
No, I was
they get-
talking about the bad government.
Oh,
Load
that'll
Sorry.
it into a rocket.
Sorry,
who
I
would you load into
jumped. I jumped.
Right.
You said bad government. I was on board.
Yeah,
well,
who would you load into a rocket to fire in the sun?
one of my favorite T-shirts that Chad gave to me is it's sort of Roy Lichtenstein style, black and white cartoon, and it's two women. It's one woman, and she's talking. She says, "If they can put one man on the moon, why not all of them?"
Right.
And
My
so-
favorite phrase lately is "why men,"
Yes.
and I live with two, so like,
Oh my God. I had a girlfriend who used to say to me all the time, she's like, "Good God, I wish I was a lesbian. I wish I wasn't so attracted to men because my life would be so much easier."
this is true.
It feels like especially over the last few years, that men have gotten worse. Like the people, the voices that are being elevated from men have gotten worse. Like, I mean,
Well,
Pete
the
Hegseth-
manosphere.
yeah,
right, there's
it's
a phrase for
yeah,
it.
the incel
Yeah.
manosphere. Again, I will say that there's no such thing as an involuntarily celibate person. They're celibate for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
And it's because they're unfuckable.
Yeah.
Well, as the only person on the podcast currently that has had the displeasure of dating for, oh God, I don't know, like 16 years or something. Like, it's terrible, terrible, awful.
Yeah.
There are no good choices.
I definitely.
It's like
feel
it's
that.
like politics.
I tell you,
I know a couple of good guys, and they are, hours and hours away.
yeah.
I know a couple of good guys that are married. I know, like,
Yeah.
yeah, but more often than not, the married people are assholes.
Yeah.
I've had people. Oh God, I've had the dating apps. You can scroll and scroll, and most of those folks are married folks, not married folks looking for a third, married folks cheating, or married folks looking for a third, and they're catfishing you, and you
Yeah.
show up and there's a couple. Like, dude,
Yeah.
dating is fucked up.
I am glad I'm married.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
it's so
is.
awful.
Yeah. Things are really fucked up. Now, you tell me this, AJ.
I will do
'Cause
my best.
I have a friend who says, if you are a good guy and you are 50 and you can demonstrate that you're a good guy, you will have so many people interested in dating you because you might be the only one in your state. I thought it was a very
Yes.
interesting statement.
That is.
I do.
Yeah, I mean that's not. I don't think that's too much to ask.
I think there is a switch that goes from, like, when you're younger, women have the advantage when it comes to dating. They can be choosier and choosier and choosier, and then
Yep.
it flips to guys.
Well-
If you're semi sentient and not an asshole, I think you essentially have the pick of a lot of women, and
It's interesting. I have two ex-girlfriends, both of whom I lived with, and neither has married, and they're my age. And they both broke up with me, and they both have reached out and said, "I didn't know what it was going to be like when I was 40." All the
and
stuff.
you ruined women.
Well, I didn't ruin them, but I mean, let's face it.
No,
I'm not an exciting guy, right? I don't ride a motorcycle and stuff like that, but I can do manly things. I can fix a sink and unclog a toilet and
You better slow down there, sir.
You do the steady stuff.
Once you hit like
steady
30,
manly
that
stuff.
is the sexiest fucking thing. I walked in one time and this guy was doing dishes. He had the best night of his life. Because I was like, you are doing dishes, sir. Woo!
Lord of mercy.
That sort of thing. And so it is interesting. I'll just circle back around. I do think the data center thing is very temporary. I don't think data centers are going to stay in the United States for long, just like we don't make televisions in the United States anymore.
Well, here's the problem I have with the data centers is that we're going to spend tons of blood and treasure on building these data centers, possibly fucking up our water, possibly fucking up our land, possibly fucking up...
Definitely fucking up
you know,
people.
Well,
yeah.
I think
And then they go away, and then we're left with these empty husks of buildings
Right.
all over the place because, I mean, Dan, technology gets smaller and faster
Yep.
as we go along.
Yep.
And what requires a 1.9 million square foot building in 2026 will be 500,000 square feet in 5 years.
This
and
is
then,
this
and
is
then we'll
why
start consolidations.
this is why we are starting a company that converts data centers to greenhouses. Right?
I mean, that's actually the shit. If the
You
problem
got
is
the water
what kind of
already.
environmental waste will be there, though. That's the concern I have too. What kind of environmental waste and how much cleanup would you have to do?
I really don't see why there's going to be environmental waste. I just don't get it. Because, if the water is being used for cooling, it's not like you're dumping chemicals into it or anything like that. And maybe I don't understand. But like, for example, in a nuclear power plant, right? They use water mostly for cooling. If you've seen the silo thing.
Stacks, yeah.
Yeah, most of the water is just released as steam. Okay, it's not dangerous or anything like that. If it were, they wouldn't be releasing it as steam. There is some water, we saw this at Fukushima, where they store the spent nuclear rods, and it's there to keep things at a reasonable temperature. That water is definitely contaminated. But that's such a small proportion of the water that's actually being used. Like water in agriculture.
But what if that gets released into? I mean, we saw with Fukushima. What if that gets released into the local water supply? That's the question.
It's a fair question. I mean, you see,
and that's
three-eyed fish by Fukushima now.
Yeah, and that's the problem that we have here in West Virginia is that bill that they wrote removes all the transparency about what is going to happen here and what are their plans if they have to move, they have to.
There's a reason that they chose West Virginia for that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if something were to happen and were like to cause more mental retardation or something, they'd never be able to prove it because it's West Virginia. I'm sorry.
I mean, the Eastern Panhandle.
I'm just kidding.
We're all right here.
I'm just kidding. There is, I don't know. I mean, the reality of it is that it doesn't matter. The technology is advancing so fast now, and people are buying up the processing power wherever it is. And so, in the end, you can't build anything in the United States, right? We don't make clothes in the United States anymore. No. We don't make televisions in the United States anymore. We don't make computers in the United States anymore. And there's no reason why we should have data centers in the United States, except that we have the infrastructure to build things like that very quickly.
And the states without regulations are the states where this shit's happening.
Yeah. But that's the even in those states, that's nothing compared to China.
Well, I'm not in China. I don't give a fuck about China.
China, India. I'm just saying that economically, it's not going to be competitive to have data centers in the United States.
Economically, there's going to be a lot of people that can't pay their bills in the meantime, and they're going to be, and these are people on fixed incomes. Like I'm sorry, I'm such a bleeding heart liberal, but it's true. Like I'm really worried about this stuff.
I
like
think that's
if
a
my
legitimate
water bill
fear.
goes up to $200, I can't afford that.
No, I think that's a legitimate thing. I truly believe that government will intervene at that point in time. If you see water bills really going up, and we're seeing the cusp of it right now, but I mean, just see
economic pressure.
This is every day that I talk to people that can't afford their water bills, bud.
But I mean, that's true for everything, right? I mean, it's not just water bills, right? People can't afford to go to the movies. People can't afford to go out to eat.
Oh my God, Dan, stop. Stop.
Why?
The movies is not the same as your water bill.
How much is your water bill?
My water bill is $65 right now.
Yeah,
All right,
that's what mine is. I would say
If it goes up to 200, like the members that I talk to on the phone every day, I can't afford that. I cannot afford that.
Well, we're seeing economic pressures all over. That's not just data centers and water, but I mean we've got oil futures now, NYMEX at 112. You know, the oil has gone up, or the price of gas has gone up. What, $1.25 since the start of this bullshit, and they're going up even more because of, you know, psycho fucker in the White House making his pronouncements. There are economic pressures. I don't know. You have to have two things. One, you have to have people putting the pressure on the government to do stuff. But you also have to have a government made up of people that would respond to pressure. And I don't know that at least the federal government.
They don't give a fuck.
So I'm just looking through Bluefield Research. In 2023, West Virginia was the most expensive state for water. So before there were any data centers there.
Yeah.
So didn't get any best. California, Oregon, Washington, New Jersey, Connecticut, Alaska, and Hawaii are the next.
Yeah,
Hawaii obviously makes sense.
West Virginia also, we have all the coal here.
Yep.
We're still paying the highest power bills as well.
Yeah. Well, right. And water, to be fair, water is used extensively in coal mining, right?
Yep.
High-powered streams for drilling, stuff like that. And that's water.
And we are subsidizing those industries, and we're going to subsidize the power here. The other thing is we're building power stations here to subsidize these data centers. We're going to have these massive data centers these power plants that we're going to have to pay off. Those costs will be passed on to the consumers. Already having, my power bill is generally in the 120 to 150 range.
Yeah.
Depending on the month. Having to fund that, the power plant to solely service this data center, these 3 data centers here in the county are how much is my bill going to be? And I can pay it. I mean, I don't want to pay it. But not everybody's in my position.
Consumer prices are a massive concern across the board. Everything, right? You can name any product. I don't think you can name anything that you're saying, oh, that's become a lot cheaper in the last 2 years since Trump took over.
Even
data
politicians,
centers,
the price of politicians has gone up.
Right. Certainly, the price of politicians has gone up. Meat, eggs, etc. Everything you look at is more expensive.
I really was trying to think of something cheaper. I'm sorry. I really was. I was like,
the best thing to lower the price of something is to consume it. Right? Is to consume it. Right? There are more trees in North America now than there were when the Pilgrims landed here in 1607. How is that possible? The reason why, we consume paper. So because we consume paper, we have built giant paper forests that are filled with trees so that we can create paper. In the same vein, there was a point in time where it looked like we were going to run out of fossil fuels, right? In my childhood, all the time we would talk about planning for the end of fossil fuels. But because we needed it, we ended up saying, well, we can find a way to get tons more, right? And now we went from 1975 saying we see the end of oil to saying now we actually have no idea how much oil or natural gas is in the earth.
We see the end of oil because the entire Middle East is blowing up,
Right. But even that, I mean, we don't get that much oil. The United States doesn't get
No,
much oil
no.
from the Middle East.
But the United States is becoming a supplier to
Why?
other countries, which
Why?
means, well, because we blew up the fucking Strait of Iran, and
But even before that,
you make the prices higher. The oil that you get out of West Texas becomes a lot more reasonable than the oil that you get out of Saudi Arabia.
yeah,
And
it's 100% true.
And so the competition then hits us in that we have to pay more for fuel because that West Texas Intermediate crude is being bought up all over the world. So we have
Right.
much more competition for our local.
So where this gets different a little bit, we know that the only thing that makes prices go down is an increase in supply. Okay? An increase in supply only happens when there's an increase in demand. Where water is different is there a finite amount of water? There's, I don't know, 10 really good science fiction movies where aliens come to Earth because we are the only planet with liquid water that we've ever found anywhere. Right? There's ice caps on Mars. I think there's ice on other planets. We see ice on meteors, but we're the only ones with real water.
Yeah.
Water is, fresh water, is clearly a different type of resource than oil or anything else. Anybody know who Marilyn Vos Savant is? I bet you do, David. Supposedly, she's the smartest human in the world. She writes.
Savant.
Yeah, well, that's her name. 250 IQ. She writes an article in Parade magazine. She's responsible for the Monty Hall conundrum. But she wrote an interesting thing where somebody said, "Aren't you concerned about the high price of gasoline?" And she said, "Well, I'm concerned about it, but gasoline is critical to my life. And if you compare how much gasoline costs," and this is back when gas was $3 a gallon, said, "and now compare how much soda costs." Right? Coca-Cola is $2 for 2 liters. Right? It'll just take the metric part out. $4 a gallon. How is Coca-Cola possibly costing more than gasoline, which is so critical to your life? And Coca-Cola is bad for you by any stretch of the imagination.
But it tastes so good.
It does taste good. Real Coke, Mexican Coke made with sugar instead of
real
exactly.
sugar.
Yeah. We. But in that space, she talked about the fact that this is the way that economic works. And even if you are in a Marxist-controlled society, you still have exactly. Tom, it is really crazy that that's where she writes. I don't even know if Parade magazine exists anymore.
Probably digital only.
Yeah, for anybody who used to get a Sunday paper, Parade magazine came in the Sunday paper, and I would read the funnies first, and then Parade magazine second, then the sports page. The thing that we know, and obviously, communist countries try to control this, socialist countries try to control it, but fundamentally, supply and demand is almost out of everybody's control. If you set the prices, if you have price fixing, like socialist countries try to do, you end up with enormous shortages. If you make something be artificially low price, people buy it. They buy more than they need. If you let the market price itself to what it is, a lot of people are not going to be able to afford the things that they want because they just can't. However, if, and we talked about this the other day, we talked about proton therapy for treating cancer. And when I ran for Congress in 2012, this was one of the things that I talked about, is that at the time there were only 27 proton therapy machines in the world. And like 22 of them were in the United States. Today, there's only like 37 of them. And the reason why is because for certain types of cancer, proton therapy cures cancer. But the machine itself is 7 stories tall. It's a giant ring, and it can focus intense radiation into a 1 millimeter cubic area. So you can get really intense radiation in a very small space. And because they're hitting a very small space, that's why it's so incredibly effective. And it doesn't make you sick. But those machines cost like $20 billion to build.
Yeah.
So what do? You have this treatment that can cure cancer for way more many people than they can afford to service, because you just don't have that thing. So do you draw lots? You say, okay, this is who gets to go in, this is who gets to go in. Or is there a reason why the only places that have built these places in the last 20 years are the places where it's actually free market? And so if you want to go get proton therapy, it's $100,000. So maybe your insurance pays that. Maybe some people pay that out of their pocket, whatever it is. But what that does is it incents people to build more proton therapy machines. Because if you talk about $100,000 here, $100,000 there, you serve 1,000 patients, suddenly you're at $1 million. You can start talking about building another machine because you've got the money to pay for it. We don't have a great way to solve this problem.
Or incentivize the research on how to shrink the size of the machine, shrink the technology to make it a little more portable and affordable.
Every hospital would like to do that, right?
Yeah.
They would love to have a proton therapy machine. It is, talk again about my sister, who's now COO at MD Anderson, where they have two. Best cancer hospital in the world, by a mile. Can I speak badly about Tennessee? I had a friend. I had a friend who died of cancer recently, who lived in Tennessee. You guys know who I mean. And I begged him to go to MD Anderson. He's like, Vandy's got everything I need. Vanderbilt's a good hospital. I'm like, Vanderbilt is not a bad hospital. Vanderbilt is a good hospital. But it is not the best. And there's no reason why you should fuck around with anything else other than the best. Because you can afford it. You, this person, could afford that massive bill. But he didn't want to do it. And now he's dead. 2 kids. It's just terrible. The only solution to stuff like this, because let's look at it in this context. The Chinese, in their whole country, only have 1. The Russians have none. Those are countries where, you have the government doing all this stuff. But it's so much money, the government doesn't really have any incentive to build that for people. The only thing that makes you do it is that there are people who are going to pay for it. And that, sadly, I think is the way that it always happens. We can talk about iPencil or some of the other basic treatises, but the reality of it is, you look at any socialist country, and the United States, which isn't a great capitalist country, but we're the most capitalist, we outperform those guys 10-1. I mean, it's insane. I mean, all right, China, we outperform them 5-1. But it is still unbelievable. And the reason why is because when people have an incentive to work for themselves, they bust their ass. Or some people do. I don't think we're going to get this political. Let's talk more Easter.
Ew.
Yeah, it is. It's sketchy. It's Sketchy Bunny Day.
It is Sketchy Bunny Day.
Other than Trump dropping his verbal droppings, or his truth Pravda social droppings. Yeah, it's Easter. I hope everyone had a chance to who celebrate had a chance to get a nice lunch out of it.
Did you guys do Peeps, chocolate eggs?
So we got Peeps. My wife's a teacher, so she the kids brought her a bunch of Peeps and chocolate eggs and all the good stuff. But Buc-ee's apparently now has chocolate covered beaver nuggets. Holy shit. So now I'm gonna have to spend another $300 at Buc-ee's. So I'm looking forward to that. You can't get out of Bucky's. I mean, if you unless you have like a Bucky's kind of close to you and you can visit every once in a while, you usually can't get out of Bucky's without spending like a couple $100. It's just absolutely
Yeah.
perverse.
Yep.
Now with gas, it's probably gonna be like $500, but you know. But yeah, peeps. So if you are in the DC area,
Yes, I am.
I don't know if it's still there, but at the National Harbor, on the Maryland side of the Potomac, or actually, I don't know if that's the Anacostia there. It's Potomac.
Yep, Anacostia is east of DC.
Yeah.
Actually, across the Anacostia River, but yes.
Yeah. In the National Harbor,
Yep.
where they have CPAC at the Gaylord Hotel. Which,
Oh yeah, no, that's on the Potomac. That's that's 10 miles north of where I live.
yeah. There was a Peeps store there.
Interesting.
All kinds of Peeps and flavors and stuff like that. So if you ever find yourself in the National Harbor area,
I will do that. There
check it
is there's a hospital there. Speaking of hospitals and healthcare, one of the sad things about leaving Massachusetts was I recognized I was going to have greatly diminished healthcare. It's just the way that it is. And although Maryland does have Hopkins, that's pretty far away from me.
Yeah.
So I've bought into being in the University of Maryland healthcare system.
Okay.
And no, I tell you, frankly, I'm pretty happy with it. But they have a big center in the National Harbor area.
Okay.
And so that's where I go. That's where my I don't want to say PCP, but my is there a phrase for an NP who's a PCP? NPP? You know
Your
me.
primary provider.
Yeah, my primary care. I always go with an NP.
PCP just means primary care provider. So
Oh,
doesn't
see, I thought it meant
necessarily
primary care
mean
physician. All right, I like it. In that case,
provider.
all right. So it's funny because I had to hunt pretty hard to find a nurse primary care provider in Maryland. I think it's just because it's the South and it is what it is. But I did get one, and she's been fantastic. In addition to, so I know a lot of people hate Epic, but it does have the benefit that I was able to bring 25 years of medical history, and she presses a button and it just all calls up right there. And
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we got Epic for WVU medicine here in West Virginia, and also the other provider. I was with the other provider beforehand, Valley Health,
yeah,
that did Epic. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, it is. I mean, there's a friend of ours, Dr. Peter Everett, who I think people know is a pro bono oncologist, and he hates Epic. He just thinks it's the worst thing ever. But as we used to say, I worked at Partners, which was the people who really spread Epic around. Epic, resistance is futile.
it's true. I mean, there's so much that is true for that.
Yeah.
Stuff that, you
know,
can have anti-monopoly stuff, but things tend to gravitate towards. I mean, how much do people bitch about fucking Ticketmaster?
Yeah.
And
Clear Channel.
yeah,
Same thing. Yep.
and it's
I
bullshit.
used to work
I
for
hate
Clear
them.
Channel in high school.
Did you?
Yeah, I worked at the local radio station that were bought by Clear Channel.
Oh, so you're the one.
Your fault.
My last thing, I think we should talk about this, and everybody should help me convince Dave that he should host a tech podcast once a week where we get really deeply into the technical things, because Dave has a unique background on that. And we talked about making a Liberty technology conference. There's a secret group of libertarians, all of whom are engineers, and we get together and we talk about stuff daily.
Is there paddling that involves getting involved in this group?
Only if you mean like a pong paddle.
Oh, okay, all right.
But because why did I bring that up?
Oh, you wanted me to do a podcast?
No, yeah, I know that, but there's a reason before that. Oh, because I really do think one place that the government could really lead, and I don't want to see the government leading a lot of stuff, but standards for markup languages, like right now, when you get data from the government, it comes in a variety of different formats. You get CSVs from the census and JSON from some people, and what do you guys produce your data in? Probably XML.
XML. I mean, there's a variety. There's XML. There's JSONs. There's
So I think the next thing,
CSVs.
the next cabinet office has to be a CTO, and that person has to bring a data standardization, because I think that will improve Americans' life so much and increase transparency in government so much.
I mean, I agree with that because one of the hardest things, and I don't like talking about my job too much, but one of the hardest things between agencies is the ability to talk to one another.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like DOD, and I call them DOD, or Department of War
DOD.
Crimes, the Department of War Crimes. If you
Oh my God, do they call themselves DOW now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
It costs a whole bunch of money to replace it on the building too.
and it's not even official because you have to. It has to be.
I guarantee you that gets changed back.
Oh yeah. Well, just like the Kennedy Center, the
doesn't
letters
get
that got stripped
blown
right
in
the
the
fuck off that when it
smithereens.
goes.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the Lego movie? The Iranians, like they keep putting out these Lego movies.
No.
I've seen them. Yeah.
Please Google this, Dan. You need
All
this
right.
in your life.
All right, let's quiz
Yeah.
it.
All right, let's do the quiz. All right, the 5 things news quiz for this week. It was April 3rd is when that ran. So stuff that happened this weekend, including the stupid tweet that Trump put out,
Will
is not
be
on
in
there.
The pilot being shot down is probably not on there.
That happened. Did it happen Friday?
It did happen Friday, so I'm not
All
sure
right.
whether or not they'll make it.
So maybe not that. There's Artemis launching. There is a Apple
Yep.
thing.
Ugh.
Gas prices.
And gas. I've got gas.
Nice.
Question number 1. NASA launched its historic Artemis II lunar flyby mission it was on Wednesday. Okay. On Wednesday, how many astronauts are on board? 2, 3, 4, or 5?
I know.
I know. And this is great. To me, I think this really chaps the Trumpers up
Yeah.
because you got a woman on
Oh
board.
my God, I've heard so much DEI shit about it. Holy crap. That woman is so fucking amazing.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
African American pilot,
Yep.
a Canadian.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's insane.
absolutely crap. But it's
There's 4.
Brandy has it.
Yep.
Yeah, 4 astronauts blasted off from Kennedy Space Center in Florida on Wednesday on a monumental 10-day mission around the moon.
Yep.
So I get nervous in two points of this of this mission that they successfully passed the takeoff, but the return. Coming back into these are the 2 places where NASA had their biggest accidents. The launch, like Columbia or Challenger blew up on launch. Columbia broke apart on reentry. So those are always the 2 places where I get the most nervous. I'm not so nervous about them going out and coming back.
It's going to be interesting. They're going to be at the farthest point. They're going to do a extreme radiation drill, like what they would do if they detected a radiation storm coming.
Yeah.
And they have this compartment that they're going to get into and sort of lock themselves in.
Well, hopefully they don't lock themselves in and can't get out.
Exactly,
That
because
would
that
suck.
would be a terrible. But let's see what happens.
Yeah. Question number 2: the average price of a gallon of gas in the United States surpassed which milestone this week? $3, $4, $5, or $6?
I know what this one is.
It's the same.
Dave,
It's the same as the first one.
do you know what it was? What it is for diesel?
We saw diesel. It was like 573,
Yep. Diesel is well over $5.
which, yeah, I'm glad I don't have a diesel.
Well, and it affects your groceries,
Yeah,
which
it
are
does.
delivered on a truck.
Absolutely.
Trucks run on diesel, and it's really starting to hurt people. It's really starting
Beans
to hit.
and rice, people. Beans and rice.
Yep.
This is true. Yeah.
That's where we at.
I do love beans and rice.
My wife doesn't like the beans and rice though.
Do you? Let me suggest making your own reefers, and see if she likes them that way.
Refried beans.
Yep.
I love refried beans.
Try making
that's-
with black beans, and
Oh, fabulous with black beans.
yep, and you'd be surprised. There are a lot of people who say
See, I'm a pinto guy. I love pintos.
there's a lot of people who say they don't like beans, but if you work hard on making your reefers, you can put a lot of different seasoning in there, get a different flavor, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
Just a suggestion.
when I do refried beans, it's pintos. That's my fave.
A mix of beans, honestly, because I don't do meat.
Yep.
So
I like it, and I put hatch chilies in.
There you go.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. All right, question number 3. The Apple celebrated an anniversary this week. How many years ago was the company founded? 25, 40, 50, or 65?
oh God,
I think
I know
40,
this.
right?
50.
50.
I think so.
really?
He says 50 as well.
Apple's older than me?
Yep. They weren't big until the 80s, but they started off early.
50th anniversary on April 1st. So they started April 1st of 1976.
Woz and Steve Jobs.
All right.
Wow.
Impressive.
Do you know the name of the road
This
around
is
the
such
Apple
a-
campus?
No.
Infinity Drive.
Okay. Question
like that.
number 4. Amid an ongoing partial government shutdown, which employees recently received their first paychecks in more than a month? Postal workers, FBI agents, National Park Rangers, or TSA agents?
Or TSA agents.
TSA agents.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's not a business built around government payday loans.
I mean, predatory lending.
Yeah, imagine.
But I mean, you don't even, you know you're going to get paid back. It's in
Do
many
you?
ways the safest loan.
Yeah,
that you
there's a
could
law
make.
now. There's a law that if you do a government shutdown, that they have to pay you back.
Right.
So
So
if
and
they're in so
especially if
much
you
debt, how can they pay anybody?
I know.
I mean,
Well, you just make
Yeah.
more money.
CR, yeah, you print more money. CRs are a different show.
Yeah. TSA agents. Long wait lines. Wait times at airports dwindled this week as TSA workers received their first paycheck since the partial government shutdown began on February 14th. Yesterday it came out that the Trump administration is pushing for a privatization of TSA, which honestly, the airlines should be paying for this shit.
That's the way it was. And there are 10 airports in the United States, 10 big ones, the biggest being SFO in San Francisco and Orlando, where it is privatized already. And those guys had no problem during all this time.
All right. Question number 5. Which of the following cities has the world's worst air? Loni, India, Belgrade, Serbia, Medellin, Colombia, or Chiang Mai in Thailand?
It's got to be India.
It's got to be India.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Loni, India, though. But Brandy says it's Loni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
City of Loni, India, has the world's worst air quality due to excessive fumes from factories, exhaust from traffic, and dust from construction, according to IQ Air.
I don't know if people know this, but on Google Maps, you can get an air report.
Oh. There are so many layers that you can add on
Exactly.
to Google Maps. It's really
It's pretty awesome.
nice. Question number 6. Which food item was recently tied to a multi-state E. coli outbreak? Raw cheddar cheese, romaine lettuce, ground beef, or alfalfa sprouts? It's got either the alfalfa sprouts or the romaine.
Yeah, I would guess the
Oh.
romaine.
Oh,
Brady says
Brady said
cheese.
cheese.
Wait, didn't we answer this last week? And it was cheese?
I don't remember. Last week was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit, man. It's been like
It's
4
like
decades.
9 years ago.
It's been like
but
4
it's-
decades in the last
Also-
week, man.
Let's point out, it doesn't just say cheddar cheese.
raw. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh my gosh, I'm having deja vu. You're
Yeah.
right, Dan.
We did talk about this shit. All right, lazy CNN for giving us the same question 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh.
And let me point out, that's not
That
cheddar
was so
cheese.
weird.
That doesn't look like cheddar cheese.
Yep.
Somebody got a stock photo.
Federal health
AI.
officials Well, I mean,
Yeah.
JD Vance's book where he talks about his Catholic faith has a picture of a Presbyterian church on it. Like,
So
Funny.
I
thanks,
think
guys.
I'll figure. I'll take a note and I'll circle back next week
I don't think
about that book. About that
so.
book.
Okay, so I look. It's great to be all about your faith, but the way these guys act, I don't think they've spent much time in an actual church.
No.
When the Pope says you suck, you might be a bad Catholic.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Question. Question number 7: which Chinese city experienced a robo-taxi outage that left multiple vehicles stalled on the road? Lovely. Is it Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, or Wuhan?
I would guess Shanghai, but I don't know. I mean, it's either
Last week was
Beijing.
spinach.
I was there.
Oh,
Brandy says Wuhan. That serves
Really?
them right for the goddamn
Am I missing
coronavirus.
something?
wow.
Am I having one of those weird moments where things are not what they seem?
Mm,
I don't like that. I don't appreciate it.
A
interesting.
system failure caused a multi-vehicle robo-taxi outage in the Chinese city of Wuhan. Police said, like I said, serves them right for the fucking coronavirus.
Yep. Or as Trump calls it, the China virus.
China.
China.
Question number 8. Thanks to recent change in the law, millions of Americans are now eligible for citizenship in which country? Ireland, Canada, Italy, or is that, wait a minute, are now eligible. Okay, because I read a
Right.
story about Italy. France, so Ireland, Canada, Italy, or France?
I'm going to guess it's France, but I don't know. I know Ireland. If your grandparents are Irish, you can get dual citizenship.
Oh, Brandy says Canada. And,
Italy says the same thing.
well, no, Italy just passed a law that cracks down on grandparent relations. Because,
Interesting.
yeah, the Maloney administration is cracking down on immigration and even,
The other interesting thing
birthright citizenship, well, not
the
even
other interesting thing that they've really cracked down on was the pay-to-play iteration of citizenship. It used to be that almost any country, including the United States, if you started a business and put more than $10 million into it, you could become a citizen.
Yeah.
And other countries had things like that. Even New Zealand, which is notoriously hard to immigrate to, become
Yeah.
a citizen of. But a lot of people have cranked that cranked that up. Well, interesting. Canada. I wonder if there's they have a dual citizenship. issue.
Yeah, I mean,
Imagine they have an influx
Well,
of
that's-
trade.
that's one of the things that the Trump administration also wants to ban when it comes to citizenship is dual citizenship.
It's
in fact,
and it's
there's-
insane to me the number of people who support that.
And his wife is a dual citizen. I believe
Yeah.
Barron is a dual citizen. So keep
Yeah.
them right the fuck out of the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Question number 9: golfer. Jesus Christ. Golfer Tiger Woods was involved in a roller crash in which state? California, Georgia, Florida, or Pennsylvania?
It is the same place where Jeb Clampett moved, I believe.
Was it? No, it wasn't California, was it?
It's not California?
No, it's Florida. His house is
Oh.
in Florida. He had just
I did not
met
know that.
with Donald Trump. He tried to use that as a.
He said Donald Trump got me high.
I just talked with Donald Trump. Well, he's not, but he's got issues with pain meds, which
Yeah. Still.
not surprising.
Yeah.
He's also this is the second big DUI crash.
Right.
He had the big one in
That led to the
I think that
divorce.
was in California.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm
Cheating
confusing
didn't
with.
lead to the divorce.
No. The cheating was what led to his divorce and getting beat the shit out with the golf club.
Right.
The drunk driving crash a few years ago almost took off his leg.
right.
And then
right.
this one doesn't appear to be that hurt, but probably needs pain meds to manage what the
Yeah,
after
crazy.
crash stuff. So yeah, it's Florida. Golf legend Tiger Woods says he's stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment following a rollover crash in Florida. His statement came after he pleaded not guilty Tuesday to DUI charges related to the incident. He refused the blood draw because it wasn't alcohol related. It was actual DUID. Question number 10. Which singer recently announced a return to the stage? Britney Spears, Celine Dion, Barbara Streisand, or Elton John? I don't know this.
I have no idea. If I were going to guess, I would guess Babs, but it could easily be Britney too.
Oh, Celine Dion.
What? She's got the muscle disease. What is she doing?
So Celine performed at not the last one, but the Paris Olympics.
The Olympics.
So she maybe they found something that helps control it. I don't know.
Man.
Maybe they'll do the holograph thing. I don't know.
The holograph thing would be pretty damn cool.
After a health setback, beloved singer Celine Dion is returning to the stage with a new slate of concerts in Paris. All right. Yeah, most places where if you refuse blood draws or breathalyzers, you get an automatic suspension.
So I had to do a couple of forced blood draws back in the day, one of which was from a woman's foot by doctor's order.
That doesn't sound pleasant at all. I've had it in my hand.
It wasn't pleasant for damn soul that night. Nobody was happy.
I mean, I've had blood draws in my hand, not for DUI or anything like that, but a blood draw in my hand was bad. I can imagine a foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that noise.
Why did they do it in the foot? You said it was doctor's orders?
Yes, because she was fighting.
Gotcha. See, I would think Thorazine. Oh, I guess that
can't do that.
It ruins the talk screen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, no, not that one. Not that one. There we go. 10 out of 10 again. Thank you, Brandy.
Yeah, thank you, Brandy.
Thank goodness you're paying attention.
Yeah, we would clearly not have had
10 We flaked the fuck out this week, man.
Oh,
a lot of news.
Printing a foot because they don't have hands. They didn't have hands. Oh. Oh, Brandy's worked in the jail, and she's had a footprint of somebody who didn't have hands. That's got to be.
Do you know why your hand is not 12 inches long?
To be a foot.
Exactly. Thank you.
I'm really picking up on the Dan jokes now. So
Yep, that's classic.
Y'all are cute.
No. All right. Well,
okay. So that studio I was telling y'all about, if you're ever here, like everybody's here at the same time, they have podcasters there like all the time. So apparently they run a podcast there. They have like a recording studio. If I ever learn how to play guitar, that's an idea. But like,
it's like a creative place. It's like a creative's place for podcasts and things like that.
Yeah. And it's on this weird little corner. Super cool.
There was
my brother plays guitar.
Yeah, in Arlington, there's a place that does creatives for like 3D printing and things like that, and then they also have a TV studio that they do like local public access and stuff like that.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I dig it. So, anyway, thanks for joining us this week on the Political Deep Dive. I will be heading out to Georgia this week, but I'll be back for next week for another great show of the Political Deep Dive. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you all in a week.
Me back again to find I'm not the man they think I am back home. Oh, no, I'm a rocket man. Rocket man.